Good Tuesday morning, everyone. And I'm glad you tuned in. This week, and probably next week, we are talking about what it means to be an intentional Christian grandparent. Why? Because I know your heart. And I know that every one of us wants so badly for our kids and for our grandchildren to come to know faith, have faith in Jesus, so that one day we'll go around the car, we'll meet them in heaven. Won't that be exciting? You say, well, doesn't each person have to make up their own mind? Yes, of course. Salvation is between each person and how their heart is before the Lord. But here's the thing. The Bible makes it clear that we are to be influencers in our family's life. Every one of us. They're not in our family by accident. Did you know that? You do know that, really. Every single person in your family is there by the sovereign, all-wise grace of God. There are no accidents. May I read you a verse that says that exact same thing? It's in Acts chapter 17. Acts chapter 17 at verse 26. And here's what it says. From one man he made all the people of the world, and now they live all over the earth, including places like this. These are the beautiful places, aren't they? Wow. God, decided exactly when all people should live. And God, decided exactly where they should live. And the reality is, you live where you live, and in which family you are. I just remembered as I was reading you that verse that I was very, very faithful at telling my two girls. We have two girls. And when they were growing up, I told them over and over again, I'm so thankful that God put you into this family and that it was not an accident. And we're not the perfect parents, but we are the ones that God chose to help shape you. And so he put you in this family. I need to tell my grandkids that they are here in this family, not by accident, but by God's sovereign will. And that's and that we live right now. So, how do we do if we're going to be grandparents, and we can't help it. Let's be the best Christian grandparents that you and I can be. Want to? Want to? So yesterday we talked about grace. We've got a grandparent with grace. Forgive faults, help grow them as we can, but we show grace in the same way God has shown grace to us, unmerited favor. So we have G, R, grandparenting. Each letter is what we're looking at. R means I will respect parent roles. I will respect parent roles. This is so important if we want to stay in our kids' and grandkids' life. Because honestly, if we don't let the parents be the parents, we may get shut out. That's just how it is. We think we know best, but that part of raising them is not our responsibility. It's our kids' responsibility. And so they have to make those decisions unless, and note this, unless we're asked. Sometimes we are. Hey, Mom, Dad, what would you do in this situation? Our first child, when they had their babies, 15, 16, 17 years ago, they were quick to ask and say, man, if you ever have ideas on how we should do stuff, please speak up. And we did a little bit, but basically they made the decisions and raised them, if for no other reason that they live so much of their years long distance from us. They lived a number of years in the Sacramento area, and then they lived in Europe, in Germany, for 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And that was hard. In both places, it was hard. And I'll talk more about what we did as we talk when on the day that we talk about being distance grandparents, and what we can do for that. Now, but in this case, when we're around, when we have contact, we're just trying to be influencers toward good. And these tips are going to be priceless. This information that we're getting, and basically, as I said yesterday, from a speech by Larry Fowler of Legacy Coalition, they're priceless. There is no price that I wouldn't pay, and it could be all my money, if indeed my grandkids could know Jesus and live forever with me in heaven. That's priceless, isn't it? There's no price on that. No price. And so when it says respecting parent roles, we're not grandmas, grandpas. We're not to interfere and give advice when it comes to how to raise a baby or toddlers or teens. So interesting because now we have a baby and he goes back and forth and simple little things like should they sleep on their stomach? Should they sleep on their back? And don't you know it changes all the time? Articles are written and there are theories and so on. But I was amazed at all the technology that's available right now. I'm glad I got to see it. There's monitors that if the baby were to stop breathing or something like that, it immediately notifies the parents. They have cameras that are in the baby's crib, so they can look in at any time they want. No, the technology now is phenomenal. We didn't have it, did we? Not at all. Not at all. But the fact is that means that raising even the baby time is different than it was for us. And so we got to make sure we don't overstep our bounds because we don't want to offend our kids to the point that they say, "Oh, I don't want you around my kids because you're too harsh," let's say. Oh, I would not want to hear that. And so I definitely was a much more of a harsh or a strong disciplinarian than my kids at time most of the time. But that's okay. They can raise their kids in the way that God leads them. And I need to keep quiet and just enjoy them. And that's what I'm doing. I totally enjoy being with each. We have 4 grandchildren. I totally enjoy being with each one. I'm enjoying soccer for the oldest, all the way down to t-ball for the toddler. It's fun. It's all fun if I just let them be kids and I be the grandparent. Respect parent roles. We'll come to another key tip, very key tip, and fun to do tomorrow. See you then.